welcome, folks, to Watch the Opinion Wrestling Edition. I'm going to go over night 2 of Wrestlemania, my quick thoughts. I'm glad I waited to do this because I get a little bit of news information. So let's get right to it. We're going to start with Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar. Now, I said that Brock Lesnar, um, Obafemi did not need to win, and Brock Lesnar should win for the simple idea that we all thought that Brock was going to go into SummerSlam against Gunther for a retirement type match as a favor from beating Seth Rollins, and that Ober's already fucking going nuts anyway, you know. But obviously it worked out. Ober won. Another short match. Some people are saying that it was only 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but we're saying that it wasn't necessary because they're the dominance and the two big guys. You don't expect to go long. I expect at least, you should go at least 8 minutes, and these guys can go back and forth more. That's what big guys do. They go back and forth until they're worn out, and the strongest guy wins. That's kind of the point. But I'm not going to complain. Either way, I would have been happy. The only sad part for me was Brock retiring. I think it was for real. I obviously caught everybody off guard. I was legitimately sad because I had been following Brock since I remember his debut and his career coming in and him leaving and then coming back. And he's always been one of my favorites. I've always had a soft spot for him and his dominance and his style of wrestling, and just, big guys doing skinny guy things or small guy things was always amazing to me, and he always kind of did that. And he eventually learned how to play the game on screen better, and he did a great job with Oba and putting him over on all the pre-match meetups and whatnot and segments, and I thought it was great what he was doing. And I feel like in this match that it was one of those things where even Paul Heyman was surprised about what Brock retiring, and I feel like it was kind of something he was debating in his head and just decided to do. If he could feel it in the match, and if he wasn't, it was one of those things where, let me get to the match, let me see what I feel out, what's going on, and see how I feel, and he'll make the decision. And I think that's how it worked in his head. I don't think it was for a WrestleMania moment. WWE was looking for something. I do not believe that at all. I think this was. I think one thing I've always appreciated about Brock, he's always been his kind of own man in doing things. He's obviously done things for the company, but I feel like this was one of those things where he kept to himself for the most part, and and just kind of made that decision. Let me see how it goes, and this is what it is. I don't know if it was supposed to end so soon because Oba did come across as really, really surprised, but um, who knows? Either way, it was sad for me as a fan. Um, just the way he went about doing it. He actually seemed genuinely emotional and upset about it, or happy, whatever it was. And I'm glad he got his exit from the fans and everything else. So beyond that, Obafemi is just, they can't fuck this up. They can fuck it up. I just hope they don't. They should. He's going at 1,000 miles an hour now. He should be going at 2,000 miles an hour and going straight for that Roman Reigns title and go right up there. He should take the if he's gonna basically retire Brock, then he should take Brock's place in how he went about doing things, and he can do that. Oba's that guy, and they got a lot of young stars that we saw last night who have a great following and a great presence in this company that the WWE can definitely ride the coattails of, and they should, especially with a lot of the older talents carrying the weight. These usually older talents stop putting over this younger talent that's out there. They need it. We need it. And it's actually pretty exciting if they can do it all correctly. So on to the ladder match. We have Penta won the ladder. This is one of those matches where I don't think it mattered who'd won. The only problem with this match for me was avoiding out the entrances of JD, Dragon Lee, and Rusev. It's ridiculous. All this time that they spend on ads and all this other crap that no one cares about, and they can't even give these guys their their entrances to WrestleMania. I mean, these are moments for these wrestlers too. I don't care if they're getting paid or whatever else. This is their moment. This is like their big thing. The thing that they shoot for in their careers is something, to be on this stage, and they robbed them of that. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. But this match was crazy, as we expected. It was great. My favorite spot was when Penta threw Mysterio over and onto Rusev. That is nuts. Then it was um, Javon Evans doing the cutter to Rusev off the ladder, and I don't know. There was just so many spots in such a short amount of time. I mean, it's again these a lot of these matches again were feeling a little bit rushed and whatever else, and I don't know. I think it's unfortunate because the matches would be going so well and they don't have time to build, but these ones were going pretty quick, and then when it gets to the end, they got to get to the end, and it's just like it was a little ridiculous, but another great match overall. I mean, I give the overmatch, and I gave that overall an A minus just because it was short. It was an A match. If it was longer, and the retirement made it better. We had more for a moment. The ladder match was definitely an A for me. Again, should have been longer. Would have been A plus. We would have seen a lot more action. We got Finn Balor coming back as the Demon. That intro is always one that you're never gonna not love him coming in like that. I just wish it was dark when they did this, and he missed that in the last time he was out there with Edge. And this match was just a match. There was nothing super special about it. They missed the build up to this. Dom did an incredible job showing his fear of the Demon throughout this match and trying everything he can with all the chair shots, and even pre-match watching the Demon come to the ring and Dom hiding behind the announce desk and the look on his face. He did a great job with that. Um, but overall, this was just a match, and I'm fine with it. It was two of my favorite wrestlers out there doing something. Now they're gonna do something with plain Finn Balor to keep pushing them. It's about time they do, and we can see what we can go from there. We got the Trick Williams Sami Zayn match. Sammy did a great. I'm not a Zayn fan like to any degree. I respect him as a wrestler. I'm just kind of washed out with him. He did a great job playing the heel role in this. I'm not gonna. I definitely won't take that away from it at all. I think I think he played into it more than he probably originally planned, and he did it, and it filled in to a great match. And Trick is over like no other. That on his entrance, he had that crazy long train behind him, which I thought was actually hilarious, but well done on their part creatively. But Sammy played it well. We knew he was going to be a heel, going heel, and he played the heel role really, really well. And credit to him for doing that and putting this kid over. I wish it was a mellow Trick match, but hopefully they can push that for I don't know for the SummerSlam coming up in a couple months and see finally get see Mello and Trick going at it and whatever else. And again, this is like you got Trick, you got um, Javon, you got Obi. You got three of these young guys who can sit there and do well carrying the company. You got Mello who's gotten up in popularity, could help carry the company. You got a lot of talent out there, young talent who can sit there and they can carry this company from the older guys. It's good. It'd be good to have the older guys, step up and help put these young guys over for the next generation and the younger crowds. Next up, we have Danhausen in the midgets. I'm a huge fan of Danhausen and his humor because it's not self-deprecating, but it's humility humor where you know that you're a goofball, you know what you're doing is over the top dumb, and you embrace it, and he embraces it perfectly. He knows it's ridiculous. He knows on a regular scale no one's really gonna get away with it, but he owns it, and he does a fantastic job with it. The kids love it, which is important. I'm a big fan of when wrestling can sit there and be for kids properly. I'm an adult, obviously, and I'm a huge fan of how he goes about it and what he does. I don't see any. I've seen some people, not people, but more pundits complain about Danhausen and whatever. Dude, this is for fans. It's enjoyable. I'm glad he did something, and he does stuff that makes the other guys out there laugh. And to all the credit to the Miz for always being there to be the brunt of the joke and being the company guy that he is, I don't think he gets enough credit as, he's a mid wrestler, but he's a top notch entertainer, and I like when he does what he does, and he gets himself involved in these situations, and it works, and it's fun, and it was a good time watching the midgets carry him out, and again, it was just a good time. Kit Wilson, same thing, good job overall. So I don't know, I don't see what was wrong with it. It was a fun little break in it all before we got to the two championship matches. And Rhea Ripley, of course, wins, which is the right decision to make. But Jade Cargill killed it in this match, and she's only gotten better. And I'm glad that she's getting better because I feel like it'd be such a waste of somebody who could do something who's just having a tough time catching on to properly how to do things in this company and be a champion or be a top level talent. Obviously, her skill set wasn't there and it was developing extremely slow. And I don't think her athleticism is what they expected, which is fine. So she's learning how to be the more dominant type of wrestler and physical wrestler, and that's working in her favor. She's pulling off moves. I don't even know the hell the name of them, but they would. She was just doing really well, and Rhea did a great job working with her, and they did a great job working together overall. And I think I think this actually helped Jade by losing this belt and taking some pressure off her, working with Michin and BFAB to get that going. Don't know what they're gonna do with Rhea. I know she's gonna go down to SmackDown now and leave Raw. That so I don't know what's going on with all that stuff. But I think every champion should be floating champions. They should be able to go back and forth between the two. But that's an issue I'll bring up some other time. Then we get on to the main event. This main event, I didn't have much expectation for this. Don't know why. The two seasoned wrestlers, but think I got fatigue from the build up to this. They were doing a great job when they started, and they kind of get a little crazy at the end. And you don't know you kind of expected shenanigans because it's WrestleMania, and the fact that there was no shenanigans, straight up match, and I think it was honestly one of the top five best WrestleMania main events, at least, if not matches overall in history. This thing was phenomenal, and I'm not a fan, boy, of either one of these guys. I'm not a fan because I respect them for what they do. I'm just not walking around with Punk shirts or Roman Reigns shirts. Um, I think how they played this out and the storyline that they told, and eventually going with the storyline of Punk being too old to handle this and not having the stamina, which he hasn't honestly for since he's come back. He doesn't look like he has the stamina for it. And we're the same age, and God knows I wouldn't have the stamina for it, and that's tough. You know what I mean? I think AJ Styles is one of the few people at his age that can pull off stamina for these types of matches. And the physicality of this match was fantastic. The brutality was fantastic. People are complaining that, well, Roman's used the chair on Punk when he was hanging upside down right in front of the ref. Dude, there are times when we all watch sports. We watch the finals, we watch the Super Bowl, whatever. We're always like, let them play. This is what this was. This is the wrestling version of let them wrestle. That's it. That's all it was. It's cut it out with this, like, well, why the rules? Fuck the rules. You know what? Because you watch the Super Bowl, like, well, that's pass interference but he was so physical. That's a 15-yard. No, it's not. Oh, that's a foul in basketball. Stop it. Let the fucking people play. Let these guys wrestle. And that's what he did. The ref let him wrestle. Plain and simple, nothing more to it. And it's great that he did that because it made the match better. And I mean, look at this. Like, I can't get over this. Like him going off at the end to this taking this table shot. I mean, it's this was like the beginning of where the wearing themselves out and them going back and forth and countering moves and like all that. It was crazy. Like the ending segments of that. And my favorite thing that happened in this wasn't even a move. It was when they were on their knees because they were so tired. They were on their knees and Punk goes for like a punch and he just collapses. He wasn't even close. And I think that like showed like the amount of energy and that they exerted and how much like they put into the match. I think that was so encompassing of it all. And I think Punk did a great job selling this whole thing. When you saw him collapse at the end when Roman was in the ring and you saw him in the background. I mean, he sold it so well and played it so well. And he probably was worn out. And this guy, he busts his ass and he's in there. and he deserves a time off. But I mean, that watching him, then him collapsing, and like there was so many little things, and Roman being worn out. There was so much, like, it wasn't just physical energy; it was emotional energy too that they had put into it. It was just a fantastic match, story wise, action wise, and it wasn't a slow go Roman Reigns like typical. Go slow for 20 minutes and whatever else. It was just talk your shit, get going, and boom, wrestling. And that should be a match that should be looked at, I think, for a long time. I mean, I would put this up there with a new generation's version of the Ricky Steamboat um, Macho Man match as far as storylines, getting things done, and just the way it was. I really, really would. I mean, I am so happy that we've witnessed this match live. To me, it was that good. Um, Overall, night two was so much better. I believe that they WWE's got a timing issue. I mean, what this is what the final numbers for the whole weekend was. Total wait time between the two nights was 4 hours, 36 minutes, and 49 seconds. Total wrestling time was only 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 7 seconds. Total amount of Netflix ads alone for the Hulk Hogan stuff was 43 minutes and 30 seconds, and then there was, of course, there was other ads as well. But that's just absolutely ridiculous. It can't be real. It's done. I mean, night two was even shorter, but the matches worked out better. I think overall WrestleMania was good. I'm not going to complain about it at all, except for the times. I liked the matches. I had a good time watching it. It's just, again, I shouldn't be able to jump into the shower and during one commercial break and come back and they haven't started the match yet. And I shouldn't be able to go cook a meal in between another commercial break and come back. That's just absolutely ridiculous and so uncalled for. And it's not what people pay for. You could put more matches in there. Again, pundits complain and say, no, it's perfectly fine. You never complain about the length of the matches. I'm sorry. You can put more matches in. There's too much talent on this, and you can change it to one night again. Do one night at 5 hours if you're gonna pull this shit seriously. So anyway, that's my gripe. Hope you guys had a good time. Curious to see what's going on with Monday Night Raw because Roman Roman should be there, and Roman had said himself that he's going to come back and he's going to be around all summer. So I think that's a good thing because that was the biggest concern everybody had with Roman winning was he's going to be around once every 3 months was ridiculous. I'm curious to see if there was something with him and Oba coming up because Oba called him out after on the post show and this better be a worthwhile thing. And Cody's got a broken orbital supposedly, so we'll see if that's true or not because he looked messed up. So he might be out for a while. So it'd be a curious way about where this is all going, and they can build the Cody, you know, um, this week build the Cody Randy thing properly. If they can do the Roman Reigns properly, and get him in the proper feuds and get some things going with that. Get the Vision thing going again with Breaker and Seth. So I'm curious to see where this all goes. There's so many things open that could be done, and hopefully they can do it and work at least these three new young guys properly between Trick, Javon, and Oba because those guys have a great future and we're all want to watch it. So anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Until next time, see ya.